Hello, alchemists! Thanks for joining me, Lonehawk, for this episode of Road to Mythic, deck tech and gameplay for Magic the Gathering Arena Alchemy Best of 1. We'll go through the deck framework and talk about how it is supposed to work, and which cards strengthen others, then get to playing it on the ladder. I'll wrap up with a quick review and a look forward to what new cards from the Lost Caverns of Ixalan I might add once that set comes out. With that, let's get to the deck. Today we're gonna do a bit of mono green. We're exploiting the synergy between Up the Beanstalk and Gwenna Eyes of Gaea. So Up the Beanstalk gets you a card, and then whenever you cast a spell with mana value 5 or greater, draw a card. Gwenna is a 2/3 legend for 2 and a green that you can tap to add 2 mana in any combination of colors, but only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of a creature or creature card. So, those two work together to make 5 strength, 5 cost creatures just incredibly beneficial to play. Even one of them on their own is good. Both of them together is crazy. To support our curve, we've also got Invasion of Zendikar, which thins our deck, gets us 2 land, and is a target for when the One Ring is out. We can hit the invasion, so we don't waste a turn, and it gets us a 4/4 elemental land that taps to add 1 mana of any color. We've got Delighted Halfling, which is just an awesome card that can add a colorless or one of any color if you're casting a legendary spell, and prevents that spell from being countered. We have also 1 copy of Llanowar Loam Speaker. It can not only tap to add 1 mana of any color, but it can also tap to turn one of your lands into a 3/3 elemental creature with haste until end of turn, only as a sorcery. Alright, then our cast of 5 power and 5 mana cost baddies. We've got a couple of adventure spells, Beanstalk Worm, which I've always looked at as kind of miserable, but in this deck it works well. The sorcery is actually useful on turn 2 and sometimes later. We'll get to that. And it's a 5/4 with reach, so a little bit underpowered for a 5 cost, but when we can do it with Gwenna and get a +1/+1 counter on her and cast it for 3, it becomes kind of a star. We also have Stormkeld Vanguard, 3 copies. For a 6, you get a 6/7 that can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, so gets around a lot of them annoying chump blocks, and it also controls artifacts and enchantment. And then we've got a lot of other just big creatures. We've got Cityscape Leveler. It's an 8/8 that destroys a non-land permanent on ETB and on attack. We've got Tyrannix Rex, 8/8 Phyrexian Dinosaur with Trample, Ward 4, and Haste, and Toxic 4. That should translate this deck well to Lost Caverns of Ixalan when it comes out. We've got Gruff Triplets, which doesn't quite fit with the 5 power, but when we can play it on turn 3, it's kind of nice. We got Surak and Goreclaw, which gives everything trample and gives anything entering after it +1/+1 and haste, which we can do sometimes with Gwenna. We have Gigantosaurus. It's a It's one in the basic decks, so I'm throwing this one in. It's probably will stay with Ixalan coming up, and it's a 10/10, just big guy. Vorinclex, 6/6 trample reach that turns into the Grand Evolution with 8, which Gwenna can help out with as well. Just a good card. Also fits very well with the deck in that it goes and fetches 2 forest cards for us, which we can play quickly with the Beanstalk Worm if we don't have anything else to do with the mana. I also have Rootwire Amalgam in here. It is a nice split cost card. For 2 and a 3, you can get for 1 and a green, you can get a 2/3 prototype off of it, which is a green permanent, which will come into play with Defiler of Vigor that we'll get to. And it has an ability for 3 and 2 green, and sacrifice it, you create a big golem artifact creature token with haste that is 3 times the power of the Rootwire Amalgam. So if you play it as the prototype, you get a 6/6 haste. If you play it with the full size, which is only 5, and is easily played on turn 3 if we get the right cards. And then on turn 4, we can convert it to the 15/15 haste. That we'll see some scoops off of that, I think. And then we've got 1 copy of Defiler of Vigor. I think I would put in more if I had them. It's a 6/6 trampler that bumps the whole field by putting +1/+1 counters on them when you cast a green permanent. We also have Huntsman's Redemption. So you get a 3/3 green beast token, which is good for 3 right there. You can sack to tutor a creature or basic land card, and then it gives 2 target creatures +2/+2 and trample on the 3rd turn. Another fun little card that I put in is Invasion of Ikoria, which will translate well to Ixalan as well, because it gets you a dinosaur when you flip it. And it also tutors for creatures when you play it. We'll usually be playing this for 5 to go find Gwenna if we don't have it. And then if we flip it, we get an 8/8 reach dinosaur that gives all our non-humans the ability to assign combat damage as though it weren't blocked. So that's a awesome finisher for us. Forgot to talk about Nissa Ascended Animist. It's a planeswalker that gives your field a huge bonus and trample. It also can destroy artifacts and enchantments, and it can also put in big Phyrexian Horror creature tokens. Well, that's the deck. Let's get to the ladder. That's pretty good. We'll keep those. Not a whole lot to do on the starting turns, but hopefully we can get past it and ramp through to our big creatures. Alright, this turn we play a forest, play the adventure, play another forest. Opponent seems to be playing a slow deck as well, so we'll bring out Gwenna. No blocks. We get a second Gwenna, which is not so great, but we now have 7 mana available, and so if we play this, we will have 3 left. So no, we played the big old Vorinclex. It's in our deck. We can actually flip it next time. And next to combat, we will swing with Gwenna. Interesting. Okay. Okay. And we can convert the Vorinclex. I always seem to lose the Vorinclex when I attack with it, but it looks like I actually should do that this turn. And then we will convert it. Tyrannix and Cityscape Leveler. Good game. Our first scoop of the day. Well, we're missing the middle on this one, but we're on the play with our ideal ramp, so let's do that. How soon could we play Cityscape Leveler? Oh, and they have a Might. So right now, next turn we will have 6 available. Okay, cast the Delighted Halfling, so we could cast Cityscape Leveler on turn 4. Oop. But we can cast Gigantosaurus right now. We would love to and gosh, yeah, you want to gang up on Gwenna? They can't anyway. Okay. If you've watched this far, please like and subscribe to support the channel and to get more from me as I release more videos. Oh, nice. Comes back in as a 5/5. We will attack with the Gigantosaurus. Awesome. That's exactly what we wanted to chump block, because now the Cityscape Leveler is next turn, and perhaps our second scoop of the day. Patch Plate Resolute. Okay, so we have 5, 6, 7, 9. We can't quite play the leveler, but this gives everything trample. So yeah, we'll swing with the Gigantosaurus. Definitely want Gwenna still, so. So unless they find and put out a Haywire Might right now, I think they're pretty well done. That is pretty cool. Are you going to attack with it, though? No, you're not. That's alright, because you are going to lose it. Well, Cityscape Leveler, I think that's the first time I played it in this deck. I've been playing the deck a bit to start off with, and everyone attacks. We'll destroy that one. It's a good game. So that worked out all right. We have our ideal curve. Opponent has an oversized deck. We are on the play. Let's see if... yeah, we can keep going. Mana open. Yep. Not counterable. And we hope that the Defiler survives. Yeah, this is looking good. Fiery Inscription. Alright. I think we may be able to get to lethal here. Alright, well, we're missing our middle. But we have the ramp on the draw. Definitely a keeper here. Just hope that we don't flood. Caves of Koilos suggests Ratadrabic to me. Yep, I'm wrong. It is boars. 3 little pigs. We are flooding. No blocks. Hopefully we don't run into... oh my. Yeah, still 2 turns away from playing anything. First little pig out. Fortunately, they're going nice and slow. Zendikar. Yeah, let's thin this out. That fortunately gets us there. Now we don't mind if they... take out the halfling. And yeah, it's definitely Surek and Goreclaw for this one. We'll first go after the Zendikar. Gotta assume that they're going to remove that, but with Lend a Ham, the adventure side of Porcine Portent. Yeah, there it is. Play Porcine Portent, and now we are in a fair amount of trouble. No attacks. Yep, good game. Just too slow. This looks pretty nice. Dimir Toxic. Alright, what do we want to do here? Do we Beanstalk, or do we put another Huntsman's Redemption up? A double Beanstalk. I feel like that's the way. Especially with them removing everything. That's sad. Up to 7. And Zendikar. Are they going to counter that too? They are. Well, this is just effing annoying. I guess the Defiler gives us more options. We do get 2 cards off of it. Hopefully we get something to double cast. Nope. We go up to 9. Poison. virtually guaranteed the loss here. There we go. Good game. Alright, that looks great. On the play, which is nicer. Now we just have to worry about them. Yeah, playing with fire. Ranger fire. Well, not play with fire, because this is Alchemy. Well, two that didn't go at our head. Got the Stormkilled Vanguard for taking care of that fiery inscription. That's nice. Do we get Lightning Strike? We don't. Two top, we lose life. They lose Flick a Coin. Presumably that's not what they were most hoping for. And Zarek and Gorklaw, if it survives, something will have haste. Oh, and the One Ring. I think we hold back. No reason for everything to sit out there like sitting ducks. They go digging. 4. Even if they can't, even if they can take out Gwenna, we can still give Stormkilled Vanguard haste, though we don't really want to. Oh, Urbrask's Forge. And they scoop. Yay. This looks pretty nice. On the play. Interesting. Looks like mono green versus mono green. And we'll play the Beanstalk Worm. And Mishra's Foundry. May regret that. They force cycle again. Well, that's odd. I feel like we definitely want Gwenna here. Okay, so if we play Up the Beanstalk, yeah, let's try that. Try to get the third card. Yeah, we'll set up the draws. We've got time here. Yeah, might as well bring out the Delighted Halfling as well. Next to combat. I got Zendikar, so I will clearly be coming for that. I think we can get there ahead of them though. So this will cost 4. Yeah. And then we can get the hasty Beanstalk Worm This is just going to go nuts. And 1, 2. Oh, we can't quite get the hasty beanstalk worm. Darn it. Next attackers. Yes, I'll attack. So they have 7 mana. Oh, and they put removal in their deck. And the Vorinclex. Okay. They will be able to convert it next turn. So oof, that's just an ugly draw. Oh, we can go get Surik back though. Let's do that. That's what I should have done anyway. And next attackers, no attacks. The Hoarding Broodlord. I love that card. Fortunately, we've got the Beanstalk Worm to get in their way. They don't attack. I think we bring out Surik. Okay, now and we bring out, do we bring out the Stormkilled Vanguard or the Rootwire Amalgam? Yeah, let's do this one. Yeah, we could do that as well. Next combat, we will swing with that. Oh, they double block. Huh. Yeah, we'll take the Vorinclex. And Loam Speaker? Yeah. And enter. Portal to Phyrexia. Okay. We will do that one, and the Beanstalk Worm. Yep. Yeah, let's get some cards. I think we may have it here. Yeah, we can turn that into an 18/18 Trampler. So with the other ones, I think we win. Activate ability. Yeah. Next to combat, I'll attack. We swing with 31. Good game. Alright, just in time. Looks lovely. We're on the draw. Opponent has mulliganed. Opponent is oversized deck. Only by 5 though. They come out with Simic colors to begin with. We like that. Stay with Simic. And we've got poison. Alright. This is probably the Pheresis Roach deck. Not a whole lot we can do about that. Looks like it might have the venomous thing too. Alright, well, we can go get a 2 with Ikoria. That is not terribly satisfying. But we can bring out Gigantosaurus and Rootwire Amalgam. And I think that's what we should do. No attacks. They say oops. They get to draw a couple cards. They have 2 mana open. Now, we can cast a creature spell, so we can cast, we can go find a 3. Our 3s are not great. So Ikoria doesn't really matter. Nothing in the grave. So, oh, we can activate this though. Let's do that. Yep. Yeah, we will swing for 19. Bone it down to 2. I guess their oops was and now we can search for a 4. I think we just swing now. Oh. Yeah, they get blockers. Nice. Do you have one more blocker? Because that's not enough. they have lifelink? They don't have lifelink. All set up for a turn 3 triplets on the play. Go for the throat, to ossification. Yep, go for the throat. Alrighty. We will require that Orzhov deck. Do they run like I would expect to see a Porcine Portent, the Lenda Ham adventure side come out? It looks that way. Yep, there it goes. Not sure what that was. All attack. We should really be looking for things to not remove. Well, that was kind of them. Alright, well, yeah, the Vorinclex is good enough for acceleration that we want to do that. Okay, reprieve it. How irksome. We'll be holding on to Stormkilled Vanguard for a while. And they seem to have made it to Sunfall. Yeah, this seems like a decision between two paths. Yeah, I think we bring out the Vorinclex again. Tough call, but I think we're okay with them going up to a 4/4. Or forcing a clear. They hit their land drop again. They exile it again. They swing again. Yeah, I'm gonna destroy that. Opponent debating whether to reprieve that or not, seeing that we can indeed play it again. And that's right, we cannot do anything else because I am bad at counting. Oh, cool. Cerise is out. Pass to attackers. Down to 11. We will take out the Merrics. No point in... Well, I guess we could up the Beanstalk for a draw, and then immediately do Surek and Goreclaw, because we do have 8 mana. Sure. Or, yeah, I think that makes sense. So we draw 1 card there. We draw a 2nd card here. Oh, that's pretty darn good. Oh, of course. And they seek a big card. Okay, well, Forest. Cityscape Leveler would be cool, but pointless. We need 3 blockers. And fortunately, there it is waiting for us. And we can play another land. Next to attackers, no attacks, end turn. Can we survive? Nope. No, we can't. Good game. They had the answers. Yeah. Phyrexian looks like an Orzhov Toxic. Hellish Norn. Sure, we'll block. Lose 2 life. I'll decline that. Yeah. No takes. see what happens here. Second eccentric. We'll block again. Okay, so we could create a 12/12 with haste. This turn only. Yeah, let's try it. So they can do 5. Delighted Overseer, that's a new one on me. Okay. Do we have anything in there with haste for 4? No, we don't. So, yeah, not such a great move. We could draw some cards there, but I think we just want to do the halfling. We will force the block. And we will pay 1. And yeah. Grab the root wire and come back. Liliana, we sacrifice. I think you have to sack the 12/12 just because. That will bring you down to 1. Oh, we didn't damage them, so... what do we do here? Don't do that. You only have 3 blockers. Okay, now they say I have significantly more. However, I win. Because everything gets trampled. Good game. Thanks for watching to the summary. I've been really impressed with this deck. In fact, it has taken me up to Diamond. So this one I think is worth putting some effort into. Sadly, we're in the last few days of the Wilds of Eldraine set, and Ixalan will be released almost on the heels of this video. So we'll spend a fair amount of time seeing how we would upgrade this. For the next day, I think I would take out Llanowar Loam Speaker. Invasion of Ikoria has been underperforming, but because there's a dinosaur here, we might as well just leave it in, because I think it will improve markedly with the release of Caverns. The Gwenna Eyes of Gaea and Up the Beanstalk combo or synergy has been working great. I guess the only thing that I might change here is add a 4th copy of Gwenna, because finding her is so valuable. It may be worth accidentally getting 2 and getting a dead card, especially with all the card draw we get from Up the Beanstalk. Husband's Redemption has been pretty good. Zendikar, I've seen this flood, so we might go down to 2. In our big stuff, we have been really happy with our mix. The Rootwire Amalgam has been just sick at times. Getting a quick, hasty hit when we've got our deck fully ramped. Beanstalk Worm helps with the ramp. I could maybe replace it. There may be some dinosaurs coming up that we could slot in here that give us a little ramp and a 5 power thing. Defiler of Vigor is fun. I could take a 2nd copy. Vorinclex I think will survive into the next version, even though it's not a it's not a dinosaur. Gigantosaurus, we'll see if that's good enough dinosaur to make the cut. Stormkilled Vanguard, 50-50. We like the cheap artifact and enchantment control, and the evasive ability that it can't be chump blocked, but not a dinosaur, and not like really important mechanic like Surek and Gorklaw, which can be very important toward the end of the game, allow us to bring in something big with haste and a little bit of extra on it. The Gruff Triplets has been good, but I don't think it'll make the cut because not a dinosaur. Virtue of Strength, I think we can get rid of. Every now and then it comes in handy, but not very often. Tyrannix Rex will definitely keep, and Nissa I think makes the cut, even not being a not being a dinosaur, just because of that -7 ability, the ultimate ability that just wins the game. Cityscape Leveler is a lot of fun. Depending on what sort of things I open, I may keep it in. If not, but it could be shouldered out by the dinosaurs. but for this version, I recommend it. It's a lot of fun, and we can hardcast it. In the land department, Demolition Field didn't prove all that interesting, as well as Mishra's Foundry. I think we'll be able to find a couple of good lands, like the cave of the tribal cave, the one where you Cave of Souls. That's it. Cave of Souls, where you can designate a creature type. That'll be good for Ixalan. That's the wrap up on it. Now let's look ahead a little bit more to the cards that I will be thinking of including in this deck. Reminder that in the description you can find a link to my Moxfield site, where I will have this deck and an Ixalan deck all ready to go. Then on to the first Caverns of Ixalan card. We've got Hulking Raptor. It's a 5/3 Ward 2 dinosaur, 4/4. And at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, add 2 green. So it goes with our ramp. It goes with our 5 power for Gwenna. Cool stuff. So yeah, I think this is a definite add to the deck, assuming I can find enough copies of it. It will probably replace a copy of or 2 of Zendikar, maybe the Huntsman's Redemption, maybe Beanstalk Worm. Probably Beanstalk Worm, actually. We've got Intrepid Paleontologist. It's a 2/2 human druid for 1 and a green that taps to add 1 mana of any color, and for 2 you can exile target card from a graveyard. Then it has the ability, you may cast dinosaur creature spells from among cards you own exiled with Intrepid Paleontologist. If you cast a spell that way, that creature enters the battlefield with a finality counter on it, which means that if it's put into the graveyard from anywhere, it gets exiled instead. So this would go with our ramp. It would likely replace the Loam Speaker and Ikoria. I don't know that I want 4 copies of this card, but more ramp in curve would be welcome as well. So potential in an uncommon is Ixali's Lorekeeper. I'm not sure I'm saying that right either. I think the X is different pronunciation in the Aztec fanatics. Anyhow, for 1 green, it's a 1/1 human druid. You could tap to add 1 mana of any color, but you can only spend it on a dinosaur spell or to activate an ability of a dinosaur source. Could be good in here. It's definitely a replacement for Delighted Halfling if you don't want to craft that card. But I don't see it as a great one for this, just because we do want it to ramp for other things as well, and Delighted Halfling will do that, although it can't create any color. I actually like this card for an idea of another deck, which would be a Cauldron deck that kind of focuses on dinosaurs, but other cool things to get abilities, and getting the Lorekeeper into the Cauldron could unleash some fun madness. Next card is Pugnacious Hammerskull. It's a 6/6 dinosaur for only 3, 2 colorless and a green. And its drawback is whenever it attacks while you don't control another dinosaur, put a stun counter on it. But honestly, that's not a huge drawback for us. I think we're going to have plenty of dinosaurs in the deck, and so we'll often have those in play. If we don't have other dinosaurs, we are likely on the defensive and aren't swinging with it anyway. And it triggers Gwenna. So for just 1 mana when Gwenna's out, you get the 6/6 blocker and you put a +1/+1 counter on Gwenna, which is just crazy. So that's a definite add to the deck, and it will probably supplant maybe Huntsman's Redemption would be the curve, but it's really a turn 4 play, so it could replace any of the 5-cost creatures as well. Gigantosaurus, quite possibly, just because even for us, it is green mana intensive. And maybe Defiler of Vigor, who can be tough to get going. The deck has kind of struggled against the mono red getting enough out there in time to be effective, and this card should solve that problem. Next card we've looked at before, but it is worth mentioning here. The Skullspore Nexus. It is a legendary artifact that costs 8, 6, and 2 green, but it costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. Looks expensive, won't be for us. Whenever 1 or more non-token creatures you control die, create a green fungus dinosaur creature token with base power and toughness, each equal to the total power of those creatures. We get something big out, and we drop this, and all of a sudden, they can't really cut our board down to something manageable. And if that wasn't enough, for 2 and a tap, double target creature's power until end of turn. That should just be wild, especially with Wire Amalgam. We will have enough mana to pull off some truly ridiculous stuff with that. All of a sudden, you can double the target creature's power, and then do the effect, and you get something 6 times with haste. So, just a prototype. You could drop this, and for 4, you've got a 12/12 haste attacker. So that'd be fun. It's a mythic, so I don't expect to run a full set of it, but that would be a good replacement for Ikoria. Maybe the triplets, some of the top end. We'll find a slot for it. I definitely want to play with that and see how it works. And then, last of all, we have Thrashing Brontodon. It's a 3/4 dinosaur for 1 and 2 green, which right there, it is a nice candidate for the deck in the mid-range of it. And then it also has 1 and sacrifice, Thrashing Brontodon, destroy target artifact or enchantment at instant speed, so it's an improvement over the Stormkilled Vanguard. In that respect, it doesn't have the synergy with Gwenna and Up the Beanstalk, but it is nice and cheap, and it can come in before the Pugnacious Hammerskull to keep that guy going. Thanks so much for joining me today and watching to the conclusion. If you've watched this far and haven't liked or subscribed, please do so. It really means a lot to me. And if you liked something a lot, didn't like something a lot, would like to see something for Caverns of Ixalan, please feel free to drop that into the comments. I'm looking for ideas. Until next time, may Magic the Gathering Alchemy make your day golden.